My friends, welcome to another episode of the Date Your Wife podcast here coming at you in Miami. Yeah. This was your fault that we're here now.
You're welcome.
Well,
best place to be.
Best place to be. He already surprise attacked us, announced himself. We didn't get there. He's that excited. Listen, about a year and a half ago, I was online and I saw this guy, Wes Watson. Didn't know who he was, but I completely resonated with who he is. He's controversial as shit, just like me. I'm the guy I run with guys who half the world loves them, half the world hates them, and I happen to be connected to all of them, and they all talk shit in different directions. The thing was, he was my guy. I hired him as a coach. He came on as a trainer in my world. I sent my brother to him. I sent my son to him because sometimes your own son won't listen to you. He got him off of marijuana. He got him doing a whole lot better shit in his life, and it's been part of his process. So once we moved to Miami, we knew the time would come. We tried to set up a pool party a couple weeks ago. That didn't work because we all got kids that get sick. And today we have the beautiful and lovely Angie and Mr. Wes Watson here on the show with Danielle and I on the Date Your Wife podcast. Bro, you ready to be on a couple show?
This is gonna be crazy. I mean, we just did an interview like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it just blew everything out the water on the page because everybody wants to know why she keeps coming back to me.
I think that's the question that all psychopaths with a beautiful, gorgeous woman ask over and over. So, Angie, what do you think? Why, let's go back. When's the first time you saw this man? Like either online or in person, how did this happen?
So one of my childhood friends was like, you have to check out this guy. He talks so much shit. It's so funny. You have to see it. So he sends me a video of him calling men pussies and bitches with titties. And I was like, oh my gosh, I like him. So I started following him. And then I was doing theta healing. And my childhood friend was like, maybe he can teach you how to monetize it online. So I messaged him on a Saturday night, I'll never forget. And I was like, hey, do you coach women? And that's how it all started.
Was it like through a DM? Mm-hmm.
She came through my funnel on High Level. And she said she was a dancer in Vegas and she's pregnant. She can't dance anymore. And she needs to do something with her platform. And I'm like, a dancer in Vegas? Oh, she's a stripper. And so then I'm like, hell yeah, she's probably pretty hot. And then I see her name. I can tell her name, and she's a pretty hot name. And I talked to her on the phone, and I'm like, yeah, she sounds hot. And then she comes through. She buys my program. And so she bought it to me first, but she paid me first. And then she came through and I saw her pictures when she uploaded them on my app, and I'm like, oh, she's way hot, you know, like she had she had the features, but and then I didn't really pay attention to her because I was actually married to this psychopath.
Oh, you were married?
Yeah, I was married to a lunatic at the time, but I was still loyal, And then I got on calls with her, on Zoom calls, and I was like, man, she's pretty hot, you know, but I just still didn't pay attention until my marriage fell apart. And then I asked her, I'm like, hey, do you want to come hang out sometime? She's like, yeah. I'm like, well, roll out, you know, like, where do you want to come? You want to come tomorrow? And she's like, yeah, sure. And she came out.
Was this when you were in San Diego?
Yeah, we were together ever since then.
Okay, got it. Okay,
How long ago was that?
Like 3 years.
Okay.
So when you sent the message looking for business help, was there a part of this was also like, I kind of want to get close to this guy too? Or was it all business
focused? She used to call me daddy when she would play my podcast in the car with her daughter. It came out later. She'll never tell the truth.
No, okay. So I find it attractive when somebody speaks truth, no matter how the delivery is, right? So he's saying some things, and I'm like, ooh, daddy, that was good, right? When I was in the car listening to his Spotify or whatever it was. So my daughter would be like, Mom, stop. But I was actually pregnant at the time. So when I went to hire him, I had no intention of like, let me see what's up, or let me try to talk to him. And I saw that he was married. There was no intention of that, but just things end up happening.
Right. Okay.
That's one thing that's crazy.
Yeah.
I get a lot of shit talked to me online by these pussy ass dudes who call someone a simp or a beta because they would choose to take care of a single mom.
Yeah.
I mean, it is any one of you guys who subscribe to this red pill dork lame ass shit, like fuck all you guys who think it's wrong to leave a child without a father. And most of you guys are probably fatherless children. That's why you're like that. You're probably jealous that someone stepped in and your dad's a piece of shit. But anyways, I mean, who the fuck even thinks that way? I mean, this child is so beautiful. She saved my life more than anybody else.
Well, you realize coming to this, like, just even the psychology, even the willingness to do you know, I didn't even know Lulu, I didn't know you were pregnant. I thought it was your baby together. When I got the full backstory to the fact that you were not on, because even when you guys were separated, Wes was like, every time I'm talking to him, he was like, I'm taking care of the girls, I'm taking care of the girls, I'm taking the girls. This is not normal, bro.
Did you
Like,
get
most
divorced
dudes
when
don't
she
do
was
this.
pregnant?
Yeah,
Or fell apart?
yeah.
So like that attitude isn't normal. You know that's not normal either, right? Like, so as you go back to the beginning, as you guys are connecting, as you start to see that, when does chemistry start to build? Like, you send the message, you have the conversation. When does chemistry start for you with him?
On the calls.
Just talking.
Well, the fact that I told him I was completely betrayed when I was pregnant, I'm not going to make it through my whole pregnancy with all my savings, and I have this beautiful skill, I don't know what to do, and everybody's like, just get an abortion, but I feel that, I couldn't do that. My soul couldn't do to have an abortion with a baby. So he's like, you know what, I commend you for following through, even though everyone else was against what you felt was right. So I was like, you know what, I respect that, because nobody had my back like that. So my heart softened up for him.
But who are these people who just because some money is going to be an issue, they would like kill a child? I mean, I just don't even understand that shit. But it's just, I'm successful. So it was like, and she's beautiful. And I was like, well, we can make it work. I just don't think that way. I'm not like, that's not my blood. Like these guys that are fucking like wall-eyed, halibut-looking Minnesota fucks, they're just all like, they're the ugliest people. And they're like, you don't want to continue your bloodline? I'm like, bro, someone should tell you to stop. Like, there should be a court order that you could have no more kids, bro. You are disgusting. You know, they're just like, you don't want to have, of course I want to have my own kids. But I'm like doing so many other things. It would probably be pretty irresponsible to say, hey, let's have a kid right now. And this is what a lot of people do. They don't really have a purpose like mine, which is helping the world. I wake up and think about the fucking world. I don't think about individuals. I wake up and think about how I can solve problems in a global scale, and then my family will be taken care of. Everyone's so stupid and so small thinking. They're like, I have to take care of my 5 family members. That's it. Dude, that's not how it works. Like, think on a global scale, get paid on a global scale. And I mean, profit solves everything other than the personal development issues. That's what we worked on in the beginning. So like dense ass people will hear like profit solves everything. And I'm like, you guys, stop with that. You know that I'm a habit-based individual first and foremost. You're trying to just pull the wool over people's eyes because you're financially insecure. But I mean, the whole point is think globally and you'll take care of every problem at home.
So it wasn't ever an issue, like her being pregnant at the time, you weren't
I
like,
don't
oh,
give a
this is
fuck about
baggage, or what you didn't even...
I never thought about that. I think kids are awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a shitload of money. I'm like, I can fucking take care of everybody's kid. Give me more fucking kids. Fuck it. Like, the reason I'm successful is because I go into shit I want without thinking about all the logical scenarios. Like, rich people take risks. Like, logical people don't get rich because they think about every small detail.
Right.
So, like, I'll always be rich because I take risks. And I'm someone who doesn't give a fuck. I'm like, it feels right, go, you know?
Right.
And that's it. I jump out of the plane, put the parachute on the way down. That's
also,
how I
too,
roll.
if you connect with somebody, it shouldn't matter. Like, when I met Garrett, we were 7 years apart, and he had a kid. And to me, it was like the connection, it was just like, oh, cute, let's go meet your son. It's like, I love you.
Who even considers
so,
it?
Like,
Yeah, it's weird.
It wasn't, for me, people were like, oh my God, I can't believe he has a son. Why are you dating him? That's what they would tell me. And I was like, well, he's a cool guy. I really like him, you know? So for me, that's why I asked that question, because I was like, I didn't think of it as like a big deal. I was like, cute, I love kids. Why not, you know?
So were you there at the birth?
She had the baby in Vegas. She used to do these things where she would just run the fuck off all the time. Like, there would be like a slight argument and she would just dip. And that's where a lot of problems came from. She needs to address that shit. And she did this time. But I mean, it just kept happening. And I'm like, motherfucker, no one was there. She didn't let anyone be there when the baby was born. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But that's her choice. I don't give a fuck. My whole thing is I'll roll with someone for life as long as they're just fucking forget about causing daily drama. Like, they're no big problem to me. I've been to prison. I've done all the worst shit someone could do. Like your guys' little issues out here that you guys think are big ain't fucking shit to me. It's like me fucking accidentally getting some shit on the bottom of my shoe when I walk in here. What you guys think will ruin your lives. It's nothing to me. So, I mean, I anticipate like that problems are going to happen, but I'm already committed. I'm already committed to her for life. It's just up to her to be able to make sure that I can keep doing what I need to do.
So Angie, how come you I feel like women, we want safety and security, and it can be like scary.
Guys don't know what that is.
Right. But my question is like, what made you feel like you weren't safe with him, and how come you guys kept kind of splitting up?
I think men are not as emotionally attuned as women. We have bigger feelings, bigger emotions because we're wired that way. We're mothers, right? And so when I get overstimulated, I need time for myself so that I can center myself to even function normally. So sometimes when things get really tense for long periods of time, I need time alone. So I would just leave.
I don't know if it's the word, but I mean, like a guy said one time, a pretty smart guy, he said, choose a woman that she has a very short period between when she's mad and when she's cool again. And like of the refraction rate or something. I think it has to do with something else. But the whole point is like, fuck. Like, do you understand the outcome you want, and can you just get it without getting your emotions in the way? You have an outcome you want. Don't let your emotions deter you from the outcome.
This is like the logical frame we go down.
But then look at they want a guy more emotionally like in tune and shit. That guy's gay. Like the guy wants to dance and shit. Like if the guy really is like, hey, like I'm gonna take up salsa dancing, you should wonder if he's homosexual or not.
Oh, you don't like salsa dancing? I suck ass at it, but I'll get down.
I honestly am a motherfucking CEO boss. I sit in the back. She could dance on me. If I was dancing, the whole place would be like, "What? Who the fuck told him to do that shit?"
That's why I'm gonna take you dancing, bro. We're gonna take the girls dancing. We took it once. It was fun.
Literally, it's just not me. That is fully. Anyone could choose to do what they want to do.
You're too big of a body to be like moving around like that.
It would ruin everybody's day if we had to see that shit. If everyone had to watch me try to learn how to dance, it would unmake what men are in society today. Like men would start probably making flower arrangements.
Like, that doesn't look right. No, but
all of a sudden all men would be interior decorators and shit. Like fuck that. Someone has to still just be like, nah, fuck that, fuck breath work, fuck all that shit. God wants me to be a motherfucking savage, and I'm just gonna run in the few things God wants me to do. What's up? Like, I'm not doing all that shit.
say you guys really balance each other out. She's like very like calm.
She's not calm. On the way here, she was going, "You fucking faggot, bitch." I don't know if you can put that. Yeah. On the way back from the gym, she called me every name in the book. As I just said, "Babe, I was just telling you to do a call to action. I really want you to just win and make some money today." And then she's just like, "Hey, you motherfucker, you use my body, you use my energy, hours you were just using my vagina." And I'm like, and you get to tell me that I throw money in your face when you throw sex in my face. Like,
we know our superpower.
This is the truth.
This is the thing. If I'm giving you, I have certain needs, right? I just need 5 minutes to do things. I appreciate him. He's helping me so much to post and everything, but I just needed 5 minutes to myself.
She'll make $100,000 a month if she listens to me, and $100,000 a month would kill it for her. She already made like $40,000 this month or $30,000, which was zero the months before when I wasn't going, do this. I know she's worth $1 million a month, and I can build that in her. Like $1 million a month is nothing to me. Like, so be around those people like that and just fucking listen to them. Like, how bad do you want to get out of your position of a man being able to control you with money? Like, just, dude, get the money. Then you can't say I'm controlling you. Yeah. And then if you want to control me with sex, then now we're going to have a problem because I'm going to need it.
But it's not about controlling somebody for sex. That's why I was like, you dance, motherfucker. It wasn't about sex. It's the fact that I'm giving you my energy when I haven't even had time to center and ground myself. So I'm like, then I was resenting him for that. But really, that was an inside issue. But that's why I need some time to process myself. But that's why I said, I'm like,
plan better, get a sitter. We have money.
When I don't have time,
get all this done.
This is why I need a moment so I can plan those things and process, okay, this is what I need, this, and that, because there's a lot of moving parts.
Do you know how we get this moment?
We hire a nanny.
Nanny.
Exactly.
This is the because listen.
But that was my solution.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll pay for it. Just fucking find the person.
It's hard though, as a woman. Like,
Yeah, you don't want to toss your kid off to a fucking
We've
weirdo.
gone through
You have
so
to smoke
many,
them.
and even like there's some that are like either seem great for like 6 months and then they turn and get all weird, and so it's hard for women to like let go of that.
Most people are
trust.
complete weirdo losers. Like straight up. I don't trust most people.
Yeah.
Especially like someone who has to be a nanny. That's got to be a different type of person. Like in my old house in San Diego, Rancho Santa Fe, I mean, it's 20,000 square feet, 15 bathrooms. A billionaire lived there before. So these people were like, they were so good at being servants, like service. They were just like, they never once made you think that they were like, you were fucking just inconveniencing them. They were so good at it. But they were foreign, and they were like European foreign. Like it's just a different level. Like there's people who they've accepted that's their position. And they were high level people. But I mean, so
we have an agency.
Hiring
we'll
someone
you
on a
guys.
whim is probably
No,
pretty
we'll
difficult.
help you guys because I get it. Like it's your house, and you don't want to feel like you're like I don't want to feel like I'm stepping on eggshells. Like this is my home. You're here to do a job, and I want to feel safe with like having my kids with you. But we'll give you guys an agency.
Yeah, she
Appreciate
needs
it.
that.
Thank
to.
you.
Yeah.
Because this space that you're talking about, Danielle's the same way.
Yeah.
I do admit though, when she's going through, I'm like, it's impossible to be around the baby all day. I get it.
Yeah.
But you could still fucking do your quick food post or workout post. We did the workout. I gave it to you to post it. We're driving in the car back. Just get the fuck on camera and say, hey, hop on my team. This really structured my energy correctly by doing this workout. I was jumping out my skin earlier, and now I'm 40% less than that. As I win the rest of the day, I'm going to elevate my frequency. I'm going to be at a higher level. This act of self-love brought me from like negativity to positivity real quick. And ladies, like this is what it's about. It's not about the craziest body ever. It's about like your internal state, learning how to cultivate it correctly so you can give the correct energy to your kids, your husband, everyone around you. But I mean, like a lot of people try to teach energy and frequency and they're just going frequency, vibration, and they don't know how to teach it.
Is that what you do?
No, she does it fine, but most of these speakers online.
I love you.
No. She teaches it a different way. She always says, what's God's interpretation of like what's he trying to teach you right now? So, but I always say your conscience is the authentic voice of God. So anything that your conscience is telling you to do is something that is unavoidable. And if you don't adhere to what your conscience is telling you to do, you will actually be operating in a low frequency state because then regret will ensue and then, shame and guilt. And this could be like even me not taking care of the girls when I wasn't with them. Like God would not let me not take care of them.
I really like what you just said. Your conscious, say it again.
Your conscience is the authentic voice of God.
I like that.
And people are like, why would you take care of these girls? They're not yours. I'm like, God won't let me not. And I'm like, they're like, why? I'm like, you don't hear that when you're doing something wrong? I get no clarity throughout the day if I wouldn't be like, hey, do you guys need money? Because I have money sitting there and I know I'm withholding it from some beautiful girls that are special to me and need it. And then God's like, you fucking piece of shit. You need to do this. The second I would do it, I'd have complete clarity. I would be blessed in 50 other ways financially. And I'm like, I don't think people are seeing this. And then it's not even just that. It's the smallest things from the way you're eating, your workout, everything that raises your frequency. And I like to look at it in two different scopes. Like high frequency is like Christ consciousness. It's fucking enlightenment. It's the highest you could be when you really listen to every step God wants you to do each day. And then low frequency is like demonic possession. I mean, this is when you've succumbed to all vices. You're letting your negative internal dialogue just break you down. You're conducting yourself in a way that, I mean, you're detrimental to those around you. You're no longer an asset. You're a complete liability. And this has you in a state of complete shame and guilt. And you're in this shame and guilt spiral where you're just consuming the food or doing the drugs or the negative acts. And so you can look at it from the scope of God or the devil. And you can look at it from the scope of like the frequency chart. If anyone Googles it, type in low frequency chart, low emotions chart. And you'll have the low frequency stages, which is guilt, shame, desire, anger, fear. And then it goes into acceptance, love, gratitude, enlightenment. And so the only thing I want people to do is realize there's only two states. There's high frequency and low frequency. And when you're in a low frequency state, what gets you into a high frequency? And that's all I want people to understand. And if they're like, well, no, they try to confuse it with like this spiritual bypassing, where they
Yeah.
think that God doesn't want them to be all these ways,
Yeah.
but they still live in this low frequency state that I could say is demonic possession. They're evil. They're negative.
Yeah.
I'm that way when I get myself down there.
So Angie, how do you like the space that you needed like for today? Think about the post. Because Danielle and I have gone back and forth and stuff like this a lot where I didn't understand as a man. I think God has me 4 daughters and a wife, 2 nannies, 2 personal assistants.
When we were arguing, I thought about how tired he is, and I was like,
9
Garrett's
women.
fucking not tired. I wanted to show him your story.
9 women in my world to try to offset my masculinity because I couldn't understand through our first 2 children, like at all, like that she needed to recharge. So that's when like nannies for us became like inarguable. Like we had to have it or we were going to blow up as a couple because I would come back from doing all the intense shit all day. She'd been managing the kids. I for sure know I can't watch the kids all day. I can do weekends, harden the paint for a day and a half. If I had to do it 7 days a week, every single week, oh, I fucking tap. I couldn't
do it for one day.
Couldn't do it.
But I admit that, though.
How do you, like for you, what have you come to find for yourself, even outside the situation that lets you as a woman, being in a relationship with such a powerful guy who's got tons of energy, who's used to speaking and blowing tons of fire and energy, what have you found for you that lets you get back to your calm place?
For me, that's excuse me. For me, that's alone time. I like to ground center myself. If I get any chance I get, I'm outside in the grass. Just alone time so I can center myself and have that connection within my body and God. And that's where I do my own internal processing because if I'm having a reaction, I know it's not Wes, it's me. But I need that alone time so I can address myself. I'm not going to go call a friend or complain about things. I want to work on it myself.
How do you get alone time with your daughter? Is like nap time or like mornings or?
I try to. Any second I
And
can.
you're like, here, play with this puzzle. I'll be back.
This is like literally the priority as your friends. The
Yeah.
priority above all priorities, above content posting,
no.
above everything is bringing this person into your world. Because once they're there, it's like another family member. It'll be
Yeah.
like having a sister / it's like people come to our house, they're like, you have like a harem. I was like, yeah, I just sleep with one of them and the rest are all my amazing women in my world who
But
are
also,
moms.
too, I realized when I was trying to like multitask and work and all this, I'm like, I'm not being present with her. And like, I would rather hire a nanny who that's their job. Their job is
Right.
to be present and do all those things. So I had to have this like heart-to-heart moment with like somebody who's being a nanny might actually be a better mom in this moment than I was being.
Right.
So, but it's still hard to like trust somebody, let somebody in your house. And I'll tell you guys, our last 2 kids, I said, like, I wanted 3, and then the last one was a surprise. And I'm like, you know what, we're gonna do it different. And I told him, I said, because it was really hard at nighttime because we wanted together time, and you have kids climbing all over you. And I said, we have a night nanny who just helps us like cook dinner and do bath time, even if we're like in the movie room watching a movie because we need that alone time together. So I was gonna say for you guys, it might be like you have a nanny in the morning. Get your morning shit done, and then have a nanny like 3 nights a week so you guys can have like a conversation without like worrying about kids. You know, it could be date night,
Right.
could be just like sitting at home eating dinner, whatever it is, but it'll change the game inside of your relationship and it'll cause less triggers. Because I can tell you, as somebody who's had experience, a lot of triggers are caused by the chaos with kids and managing a business, and you're like, I just want to relax and talk to my girl.
Right.
But then you got kids screaming on all the things.
Right.
Is your radar on like all the time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like explain that to, because this is something that Danielle had to explain to me. Because like I can shut the radar off. Like I leave
Men
the house,
can. It's
I don't
natural
think
for
about the
men.
kids.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about
We're
the
like,
kids.
it's 2:00. My baby should be getting it. Like our brains never, even if we're working, our brains are always on multitasking.
Yeah.
Talk
That's
a
why
time.
the main thing should be for her to find the person who will help, though.
Yeah.
I mean, my main job is to make sure I can pay for the person to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to find the fucking person.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to find him and have him be a piece of shit, and then it all falls on me. So, this person is this and that. Oh, God. Now I tried and I get crucified.
We'll find you, Seth. We'll find
But
you.
this is the thing is, I mean, like, we solved all this. Like, we have the fucking motherfucking money. Just,
Yeah, this
there's
is
no
easy.
more
Yeah.
excuses.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
This
we
is
need to get everything done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I guess if the guy was a bum and you had no other choice, but that's just, someone said the other day on one of my things, they say, she's only with you for the money. Like, what if when you run out of money, she's going to leave you? And I go, good. I don't date chicks who date broke guys. I wouldn't date a chick who would date a loser. And they're like, what? I'm like, if I had no money, I'm a loser. And I wouldn't date a chick who dates losers.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, fuck that. Like, they're like, you're a fucking asshole. And I'm like, no, I'm realistic.
Yeah.
I'm keeping myself from being a loser. Like, I hold standards to myself.
Yeah.
And so, like, even yesterday I said, if she don't have a solid gold Rolex and a Birkin yet, like, that's baseline. Like, you got your chick looking busted. And these guys are all mad. They're like, if she only wants that, it's a problem. I'm like, you should want her to have
it's a
that. And
standard.
if she doesn't want that, it's a worth issue. What do you guys think about materialism and the spiritual side? Because a lot of God people are so weird
Very
about
weird.
They probably crucify you about materialism, right?
Well, you got two things, right? So we were messaging back and forth about this. Because we've gone through our phase where she's like, you just think I'm a vagina for sex. And I was like, and you just think I'm a fucking ATM machine that has unlimited credit. You just
There's a
run
lot
the
of truth
Amex
in
every
that.
single. But we came to terms with this as a couple, and then it'll lead to the material side,
I
which
was
was,
like, I'm a high paid prostitute.
and
Fine.
I am paying for the service.
Dude, they're gonna love that.
Only I had moments in our marriage where I'm like, okay, I just added this up. Like if there was like the
I'm
top
winning.
highest paid escorts in the world, you're like above them with the output I'm getting right now. So like we've got to recalibrate this relationship contract.
Yeah,
that we
don't
have.
ever let me spend 10 grand on shopping and not get laid within 2 hours. We're having a
That should
fucking
be a
problem.
No,
policy.
what you do is
And it shouldn't be
it's
just
before
normal
shopping.
shit.
It's before shopping to make sure you're taken care of.
Oh, I never get it before. I'm the after part.
But listen, we
But
have
this is
a
the thing
little one.
This is the
There's
thing I like
time.
shopping for. I like taking her somewhere and dressing her up.
Yeah.
And because she won't go shopping. You need to take her. She will not buy shit for herself.
Oh, dude, you
And
go
then-
with that. This
Well,
is
it's
like
the
the professional.
overstimulation for me.
Yeah.
Going to the shopping with the toddler and being
Every time
overstimulated,
she
you're not
goes,
looking at
she
clothes.
likes it
Yeah.
though. So she always says overstimulate all this. If she really went by her feelings, she wouldn't do much.
I don't take my
And
kids
then I force her to go do stuff, and she's like, "Oh, that was
nice.
awesome."
Yeah.
And,
So-
and she's like, "Hey, thank you for getting me to go do that." I'm like, "Well, sometimes I get a thank you, and sometimes I get a fuck you." You know, like, and I'm like, "God damn,
That dude, you're not the only one.
fuck."
You know what though? Like going back to your question though, like I think if somebody, like you said, it's like it's a worthy issue. Like I had like a nice bag, and somebody's like, "Oh, I just decided I don't want to spend money on a bag. I just prefer to travel." I'm like, "Cool, I prefer to do both."
That's what I always
Yeah.
say. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, excuse me. So you have to choose?"
Yeah, like,
the fuck.
Yeah.
So, if you're with, do you have any girlfriends you run with?
No.
Do you have any girlfriends you run with?
I got lots of kids.
Okay, good. So we set this podcast up so you two can meet.
I'll take you shopping.
Ball Harbor's right there. Aventura Mall's
If
right
you're giving
there.
You two need
permission, I'm gonna
friends.
say I blame Wes. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, babe.
we're like both our girls are beautiful and amazing and powerful and don't have friends to go out with. And this is the challenge when you're in and around so much activity. A lot of times people like will come at her, and we've had so much bullshit come at her from women who try to use her, people trying to
I
use
am very
us.
like protective of my energy.
Yeah.
I would just honestly be like, fuck, please take the driver, take the rolls, take my card, go have lunch. I know you're going to come back happy because I would. Like, I would go hang out with my friends, do all that, come back and be like, oh, cool. Like, I want to see you again or something.
You're in
Go
the
take that
space.
awesome break, you know?
Yeah.
Well, she has in the morning. We had to create space for because of how many children we have. Like, because it affects me. Because I would come back after hunting all day, and she's so tapped.
Yeah.
So I get what you're talking about. Like, I didn't understand it
And
forever.
I would be like resentful for him, and I was like, but why? It's because of the simulation that I'm just like, here, take the kids, you know?
Yeah.
And so I understand it, but even then, like, it's hard with kids. Like, you're gonna have your moments, so it's like that's
Have
what
you,
that's what you signed up for. You know?
Have you ever hit Wes in the face with a red
You
bottom shoe?
always tell this story, but you don't tell the first part of the story of why you got hit in the face.
Hey, we
with
just can
shoe.
stop with the fact that you took
No,
it.
because
I
you
took
have
one right to
shared
the
this
forehead.
so many times on the podcast, and nobody shares the pre-story.
Okay, tell the pre-story.
Well, Garrett, one time, he's a very reactive man, and I'm like, hey, I don't
Much
want to
better.
fight. I don't want to fight. So I retreat. If he's in this mood where he's like wanting to fight, I'm like, whatever.
I don't want to physically fight.
No, but he does the thing, and I'm like, I don't. So there was one night, this is like years ago. He's literally like following me from room to room to room to room to room. We end up in my closet. I had like a massive walk-in closet. Then he starts taking my shoes and chucking them on the
No,
floor.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I did?
Yes. So
don't remember
I
that part.
took a shoe and was like, asshole. Didn't mean to throw it right at his face. It landed on his face.
No,
But
no.
he-
You didn't throw
Landed.
it. It was a weapon.
It perfectly
You were
got
holding
placed.
the toe of the
Well,
shoe.
he's like going nuts.
You're in
and
my
I finally was
face,
like,
and I don't realize what you got in your hand because
I got
I'm
a
distracted
stiletto.
by your face because it's beautiful. And then
he-
whack, right in the
we
forehead.
both- we
He
both
threw the
do
shoe,
the
he got
thing.
in the way.
So this is the thing. We both do that thing where we go room to room, but honestly, every time we argue, I'm like, I don't want to fight. I don't got time for this. And then she'll say shit that's so bad and triggering. I'm like, oh, you fucking bitch. And I just and then I'll be like, can you fucking stop? And like,
guys
you have
get
to admit,
triggering.
most of the times I've been saying, please, let's stop.
Yeah.
Like, I just say, please, God, let's stop. Because I know where this is going to go. It's going to keep getting worse.
Yeah.
So and I don't want it worse.
When you girls go, because Danielle comes to me, by the way, you're not alone. This is every couple. People, there's just people who are honest about it, and there's people who are not. Like, people come, we never fight. Good, you have no polarity, no attraction, your sex is garbage, and nothing's going on. Because without the up and down polarity, the attraction ends.
Right.
When you girls go to the words, like, you come at us with words that if guys came at us with these words, it's fucking over. But because you're our girls, you come at us and we're like sitting in it. Both of you, I want to hear from both of you. What is going on in your mind when you go to the below the belt words, you fucking pussy, whatever? Like, she'll come at me like this too, like many times.
Like,
It's
do you
better
really
recently.
want a guy who would take that shit?
He
Like,
doesn't.
Fuck.
That's how it ends up in a fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't take it either. I'm like, listen, what the fuck? You know?
You know what though? It's again, women have the reactive side too. You know, so we still sometimes all say stuff. I'm like, shit, that just came out of my mouth. Or sometimes it's
She actually apologized for what she said, because I'm like, you're gonna apologize later. I wanted a motherfucking apology because I'm chilling. Like, you need to calm the fuck down. And I was being cool. I didn't say one bad word. I got called every fucking word. And she's like, I'm tired. I told you. I'm like, you're tired doesn't mean you can just lose your shit on people. And it's like,
On the one side, though, it's safe. So, Angie, what do you think? When you go there, I know where Danielle goes. Her overstimulation is definitely a problem. That's why we have to create like space for her. And for she's stressed, she'll go there.
So for me, it's the overstimulation. And I try to tell people, like, or him or anybody, like, who I'm around, like, I need a minute or I just need a second. And if I say that nicely, maybe it's just like over the shoulder or just passes them by. So when I finally hit, I'm explosive. Like, and then I don't get upset and I get so mad because I'm like, I told you and you didn't listen. I've been telling you for days.
No guy understands I'm tired when it's like a 5-minute video that you can just shoot. I'm trying to teach her that who gives a fuck how you feel, just shoot the video. And then later she makes like $4,000 off the video and she's like, oh, thanks. And I'm like, you need to compartmentalize at least this one thing.
Okay, really
Because
quick.
for her, she can make a workout video and then shoot a 30-second call to action. And like, I have guy clients who can't do this. There's women clients. I'm like, you guys are fucking pathetic. Who are you putting on the other side of the camera that judges you that bad that you're siding with? Like, they're siding with someone on the other side of the camera that doesn't like them for some reason.
So like, for me, it has nothing to do with what the other person is. It has to do with my physiological response in my body. I need a moment before I could jump on camera and say something. I can't do that. It's the energy I'm emanating. So I need a second.
You'll never be successful if you can't do that. Like, you have to be able to do that.
That's not true. I'm still in the process of kind of decompressing from the baby.
How many times have you been having to go on stage and like shit was melting apart and you still had to go on stage or something?
Well, tons. But here's the thing I
Every
noticed.
time.
Like, even last week at 10X Growth Con, so they had they did like a 40,000 person speak off tour, right? Yeah. And they had the final 6 that came to speak at the event. There were 3 women, 3 men. All 3 women were like, eh. All 3 guys were like fire-breathing dragons.
Yeah.
And it was interesting watching that happen because there's an intensity that comes, and this took me forever to fuck. I've been with Danielle for 23 years. I could not have come to this realization for myself until the last like 3 years. But that really was about 2 years ago when she put it all on the line with me. Again, came to me and said, if this shit doesn't shift, we're done. Like, and it was serious with me. Like, she couldn't feel me, and I was like so unplugged from my ability to even like put myself in her shoes and feel it. And I could see with these women coming out, the approach was just different. It was like super different, and that was hard because when you're front side like grinding promoter marketer, there's like an energy to this. And then I kind of was pushing her to become that, and it actually backfired because when I was pushing her to become that, she started becoming more masculine. Because she was learning how to be this weapon out into the marketplace like me, which then started causing even more chaos.
There's like competition.
I actually wanted to come home to calm, and I actually turned her into an aggressive weapon.
Oh, yeah, she would never go that far, though. I just want the quick call to action. So she's never going to do that much.
I didn't think she would. Danielle would either.
He makes it sound like I was like super masculine. I wasn't. I became a producer.
She's just not that type of personality. You know those girls who are kind of like that? I would never date that. I'd be like, shut the fuck up, dude. Sit down.
But she got the weapon in her.
No, but she won't. She'll never be like that. She'll do. she'll do it her own way. Still, she's
yeah.
still stubborn. She'll never. She'll go She'll be like, oh, you told me to say it this way. Well, I'm gonna do 30% of that. And I'm like, perfect. I don't want you to sound like me. What the fuck?
It's also hard to take coaching from your significant other because Garrett's a big producer, so obviously I want his advice, but he gets offended when I don't take 100% of his advice. I'm like, okay, well, I took 50% of it or 60% of it, but he's almost like, well, I'm the best at what I do, and I'm like,
But that's exactly why I said she'll do 30%, and I'm fine with that. Like, I just want it up. I don't give a fuck if you stumble the whole time and it just says DM me for coaching at the bottom. I don't give a fuck if you say all the wrong shit. Just get it the fuck up so someone knows to message that after they saw your tits and your abs and and how good you looked in your workout. Like, fuck, dude. People don't give a fuck. They're like, wait. Which program makes me look like that? They don't know what you said. They just went straight from like video that looked like a straight porn almost. They're like, whoa, and this is women too. Women want to look fucking good like that.
Yeah.
She thinks they all want to fucking grow and heal their inner child and shit. I'm like, God damn, they want to look like you.
They do.
What heals your motherfucking inner child when you look good, when you got some money. Like, that heals a lot of problems.
I was gonna say for women, like when they transform their bodies, they'll transform the outside
Fuck,
too.
that's everyone though. Like, I tell everyone, I'm like, they go like this. They go, well, Wes, what if you tell everyone to have because I don't even trust a man who don't have a hot chick. I'm like, you're a fucking loser. Like, you ain't a salesman. Like, I'm like, your chick's ugly. You suck.
What if they've been married for 20 years and she was hot in the beginning?
Yeah, but not. I'm talking about the guys that are in my level.
Okay.
You know, like my age, everything. Like, it's like, bro, like, no, fuck that. Like, you're not a good salesman. Selling a woman's the best thing, and look what you sold. She's a troll. Like, fuck that. But this is the thing that people are like, what if you steer someone away? You tell someone to go get a 10, and they're steered away from a girl who actually loved them. I'm like, that girl didn't love herself. She was 40 pounds overweight. Isn't the first thing everyone says is, if you don't love yourself, you can't love anyone else? Well, why the fuck are we giving everyone a pass who doesn't love themselves, obviously, and calling them beautiful? They're not. They're not beautiful at all. They've trashed themselves. They're actually the furthest from it. They're low frequency. You have to always accommodate them. They suck your energy because they're insecure.
Yeah.
Like, they take everything from everyone. Like, you have to fucking constantly coddle them and shit.
Yeah.
So if someone didn't work on creating an exterior that is beautiful, and this is not everyone who's beautiful on the exterior. Some people are very shitty and look good outside. But for the most part, if they have solid daily habits and they focus on their habits, their character, their virtues, their values, and they're beautiful, then this is what we're looking for. And like, the whole thing is someone won't have the other. Like, oh yeah, no, she really works on herself. No, she doesn't. Like, she doesn't love herself. The only true depiction of self-love is self-investment. And if someone doesn't invest in themselves, they can't lie to me. Like, they're disrespecting themselves all day. I know how they feel about themselves.
Right.
And so they're going to project that onto me any chance they can get.
Right.
And they may be just projecting that on, they may be just doing that internally. Because there's people who project what's going on inside, and there's people who internalize it. Those people are almost uglier because we don't even know what the fuck's going on with them.
So, Angie, choosing to be back, knowing how intense he is as a man. Danielle had to make that decision with me too. Knowing that comes with up and down. Huge highs, huge lows, big swings of energy, up, down. What is it that you see in him that has you say, this is the roller coaster I want to ride?
His heart and who he is as a being, because he is very rare. That I have never met anybody like him, and why would I go out in the world? I just had to let him kind of go through his thing, because a lot of people ask me, how can you go back with him when he was dating someone else? I let him. I allowed him. I felt that he needed to go through that experience, and I needed to do the inner work on myself, so that way I'm not running away. And I didn't focus on, hey, I need to work on myself to be back with Wes. I was like, I just need to be better within myself, so I can.
But then she has to tell the truth and be like, well, he was trying to be back with me. I chose not to be with him. So he had no choice.
Did you guys, how many times have you broken up?
For like 79,000.
Like 3.
At least 7.
Really?
It's so funny though. We were talking a couple just on our show like 2 weeks ago, and we're like, so talk to us about it. It's actually almost every couple. We're like, well, how close have you guys gotten a divorce? And one of the couples was like, every week. Every week, every week we're like,
she was going home on the way back from the gym. She's like, I'll just go home then. I'm like, and I just know not to say the stupid shit because she's filling in my blanks. She's like, I'm like, if I'm just using your body, then I won't use it then. And she's like, yeah, because you'll just get some other bitch to do it. I'm like, I didn't even say
No,
that.
that's because a few weeks ago he went on a Instagram and you were talking about, well, if you don't fulfill all my needs, I'll just get someone else here. And I was like, oh wow. And I was so I kept that in there. That was a little dig that I realized I needed to clear out.
If a guy consistently tells you that he just wants, and I'm not saying you have to come fucking jump on me all crazy, but when I come fucking in the goddamn door, I want you to fucking greet me. Like, I want everyone to just fucking say something.
Are you off your phone?
If we're in the same, if I walk in or I'm in the room,
Are you
come
totally
up
present?
and greet me. Like,
When you walk in the house at the end of a long day, are you off your phone, all devices
it doesn't
totally
matter.
present?
The thing is, you should be like, he's on his phone. He's trying to pay the bills for my fucking family.
Well,
fuck that.
That's where I'm gonna have to disagree.
Yeah.
Like, if you come in the house and you're present, then I see you and I'm like, babe, how was your day? Come give you a hug. But there's been times he's been on his phone. I'm like, hey, babe, how are you? And it's like, he doesn't even
The
notice
guy
me.
doesn't want to be on the phone, though.
No, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is I've tried to greet him when he comes in off a long day, and he doesn't even notice me. I'm like, how are you? So I'm like, all right.
Sure, it's happened.
So.
I've had to actually like be conscious of that in the car.
Because
Like,
he says
in
the
the
same thing.
parking
He's
lot.
like, I want to walk in and say, like, I'm the king. And I'm like, you want me to be like, you're the king, but you're
Yes,
on
I
your
do.
phone.
Yes, I do. I want you to chant.
But
I
you're-
think you
but
start
you're on your-
chanting that
but
with the
he's
girls.
on his phone. I'm like,
You
how
got to
are you?
always look at the deeper intention of what someone's doing. I don't want to work 20 hours a day. I don't want to be selling
she
10
take your
hours a day
phone
on
away
my
from
phone.
you?
No, she should come up and know that I'm working to make sure they have a great life.
But how does she greet you if you're on your phone?
She just comes up and grabs me and is like, hey, babe, come here. And this is.
But if you don't
So
notice
for-
But
it.
I'm
Really
not
quickly-
on my phone, though.
Really
That's the thing.
quickly, the common denominator for me is the fact that I just need a nanny. I just need a few
just
hours, so
need a
I
nanny.
cannot be so overstimulated
Yeah.
because I'm like going crazy, like
I'm
a million
telling you.
miles with the baby. Somebody's coming in, and I'm
Yes.
like,
If I'm always the
I'm not
one
like-
who's, if I'm always
yeah.
the one starting like the sexual engagements or the kisses and the touching, fuck that.
Again, the common denominator, if somebody's so hyper aware with the kids, they're not going to be
No,
like,
she
hey, come
tries
here,
now,
let me just
but she'll fight me at first when I say, hey, you need to start doing this. And she'll cause a blow up fight. And then like for the next 3 days, she'll actually do it because she knows she should do it.
Who engages out of you guys? Who's the one that
Dude, is
engages
it-
more like
Me, all
Yeah,
day. I'm like,
me
God damn,
too.
you're hot. Fuck, look at you.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
I don't even think
All
I've ever
day
been
long.
told I'm remotely attractive. I'm like, surely I'm attractive. I get like 12,000 solicitations from women a day, and they're not even shabby. The last few of them, I said, you should hang out with my girlfriend. And they're like, girlfriend? I'm like, yeah, you should hang. You guys would be good friends. I went to Ball Harbor here the other day, and some girl was like following me around, and I'm like, whatever the fuck. I'm like, okay. I'm trying to buy her clothes. I'm on FaceTime with her. And then I leave, and the girl's like, I saw you at Ball Harbor. I said, she's like, that was you at Ball Harbor? I said, yeah. And then she's like, I like your tattoos or something. Yup, they're cool. And then I think I'm getting set up because I think every girl's her friend or something. And then the girl goes, says something else like da-da-da. And I'm like, you should hang out with my girl. Like, you guys, we should all go to dinner or something. She's cool. She speaks Spanish too or something. And I'm like, she's like, you're a girlfriend? I'm like, yeah. I call her my wife. Like, this is what I do. I don't even like saying girlfriend. She calls me Wes. She said, do you call him Babe or do you have a name for him?
call him Babe.
Or do you call him Garrett? She calls me Wes. She's never called me Babe or anything. I'm like, that's fucking
Bobby?
weird as fuck.
I'm just never,
call him Daddy.
I just never really, yeah.
Daddy.
Yeah, that's what I told her. I said, you call me
Daddy,
No,
there
Daddy.
you
like,
go.
call me
Call him
Poppy.
Daddy.
I'm like, I'm not gonna call you Poppy.
No, she did. I got her to do it one
You
night.
have to call
She
him
did.
Poppy
It was
now. You're in
hot.
Miami. When he's
Yeah,
wearing
right.
white.
That's what he says. Like,
It
you
was
call me
super
Poppy.
hot.
I was
If
like,
he has the hat on, he's wearing white.
Yeah.
And you're on the yacht. Yeah.
It was
like-
hot. We were fucking, and she was speaking Poppy into my
I
ear.
don't even speak Spanish. So I
And,
was like,
the
you
point,
need
it
to
wasn't
call
even your
him
body that made the move. You ended me with a poppy in the ear. Okay, so
Yeah,
come
but
back.
that's the thing. What do you do when a chick calls you by your motherfucking name?
I have
don't
a little
go, Angie.
I have my little baby, and she keeps calling.
She calls me her son's
She
name.
keeps calling him Carlos, so I like to say Wes.
Her
It's
son's
Wes.
name's
It's Wes.
Carlos.
So
she
she
has
can hear
Carlos
him.
tatted on her back, and people troll me and go, "Who's Carlos?" I'm like, her fucking son, you fucking weirdo. I'm like, dude, even if it was an ex, who gives? I have so many exes tatted on me, and I covered them up. But they're like, well, why don't you get her to cover up? It's her son's name. That'd be
Yeah.
awfully disrespectful.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid's doing like, he's got a life sentence almost for murder. You know, he's fighting a murder charge at 18. And, dude, fuck, my mom covered my name up on me. Her, like, that would be rude. Like, I wouldn't even want that to happen to him, you know? Like, what the fuck? But just people are so weird online. They're so up in our fucking business. But
So-
then that's what comes with having
Yeah.
purposely making a
Completely.
reality show.
Right.
You know?
So Angie, like when do you feel when does it become with the kids where you can just melt? Do the kids have to be completely gone? Can you melt when she's asleep?
Yeah.
Is it when she goes to bed and then like you're good then?
Yeah.
What time's that usually?
It just depends on what we're doing in the day.
Yeah.
But just trying to get her on a better routine to where she's like asleep, so we have at least an hour or two before bed.
Yeah. I think you
how do
guys
you do
literally.
date night? Do you have somebody who can cover date night?
We did last time. We went out to we went and met some people. We filmed some content. First, she had no clothes, and I'm like, "Fuck, dude." And then I'm like, "Do you want to go?" Because I'm like, "I'm gonna go film with like some famous rappers and shit, and I don't want you to think I'm out doing something.
Yeah.
So, do you want to go?" "Yeah, I'll go." It's 5:50. We have to leave by like 7:00. She doesn't have any clothes. We have to go to the mall, pick an outfit, and be up at Poppy Steak at like 8:30. And I'm like, "Oh my fuck, dude." And then somehow we pulled it off, and it was like.
So was your closet empty? You didn't have any clothes in there?
No, I came with very little.
Okay, so you legit didn't have any clothes.
No,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
she
like,
says she
no-
doesn't have clothes all the time.
No, what I'm saying is
She got a full-ass
I
closet.
really didn't have any clothes.
She
It
has
wasn't
to
like I had
bring
clothes
her
in the
clothes
closet.
back. She has a house in Vegas where a lot of her clothes are at. but
Okay, got it.
The whole thing is we get the clothes in time. We make it up there, and she's fighting me the whole way about I just don't know when you fucking go. Then I'm like, God damn! I just spent $10,000 on like an outfit for tonight just so you can go. And fuck, dude. And then I finally get her in the car, and I'm like, here, just drink this in the back of the Phantom. By the time we get there, there's a picture. Go on my page. She's flipping off the camera, red bottom shoe in the pic. But I like wanted her to take that pic. I'm like, hell yeah, let's do a photo shoot while we're driving. And like miraculously, we pulled it all off, made an edit. She got a good photo. She got a little buzzed and enjoyed herself. And that's all I wanted. I wanted to fucking have a mental fucking break and go enjoy a motherfucking meal and drink a little bit.
Yeah.
I think chicks should drink. They think too fucking much. People are like, Wes, you don't glorify drinking, do you? I'm like, women should drink. They think too much. They should drink as much as they can. And so to where, at least to where
Well,
right
you
before,
gotta function as a mom, but
right
you know.
before
yeah.
they pass out, though, if you do all that and they pass out drunk and you don't even get to fuck them, I'm pissed.
Oh my god.
If I have to jack off in a mansion, we're done. Fuck this.
That's not me, just for the record. I don't do that.
She
usually
did
don't-
once the other time, but lately we've been having like marathon fuckings of sex, like when the baby falls asleep and like enjoying ourselves. And then that's why she said, you used my body for hours. I'm like, you're lucky I last hours. These motherfuckers can't even last 20 minutes. I could last 3 days.
Okay. All right.
So you need a nanny.
I got the
Cover that.
videos. We can
So that this can
OnlyFans
be
them. I got
shenanigans.
the videos.
Now you can have daytime shenanigans with the nanny.
Yeah.
We've at least come
I
to
really
one
like
conclusion.
the daytime shit because I can just get it done. I get it out the way. I don't have to wait till
Perfect.
11:30 when fucking the baby's asleep and she crawls in and it's like, okay, hey, like we got some time now. I'm like, I'm fucking asleep.
Do you get
Yeah.
up at like 4 a.m.?
I get up at 2:45.
You guys are nuts. He gets up at like 3 usually.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
How the fuck else you gonna do everything?
you get up really early?
No.
Yeah.
I come back and go to the second round. I go to the gym. I drive up and go to the gym with my guys, do my training with my people. And then I come back. I try to make sure she's ready. And then I go with her to push her really hard at the gym and make sure she's doing drop sets, rest pauses. She's not fucking.
So you go back to the gym with
Yeah, I
her?
go back and I make her train hard. And then I film her too. And I make sure she has good footage. And then we try to get her video up and her call to action. That's what we fought about today. Because she doesn't realize I do all that for me, and then I come back and make sure she does it because I want her to have money. If something ever happened to me, I want her to have her own business running to where she's making $100,000
I
a
think
month.
what's cool though is when you have a girl that makes money, you know that she wants to be with you because she wants to be with you.
I don't care about that. Like
don't
everyone's
care?
always like, she wants me for me. I'm like, every girl wants
Well,
me.
no,
What
we
the
wanna be
fuck? I don't
taken
care.
care of.
But I really don't care. Like I really am. I don't need anything. Like I want to make sure that you know I would do anything for you. How people treat me, whatever the fuck, you know? Like, I never expected many people to treat me very well. She does, but I mean, I don't think people could ever really, like, do for me what I would do for them. And it's just how I think. But, I mean, the whole thing is, I don't need her to do anything more than she's doing.
Why do you want her to have success?
Just because I know how good it makes me feel to make money each day. Like, what really gets that fucking pain off my back and the stress in my heart out is if I make 6 figures that day. So, I mean, if she makes 10 grand a day, I know what that's going to feel like for her. She's going to be like, fucking, let's run it. Like, she's going to be so happy. Like, I know the feeling. And anyone who says it's not about money hasn't made 6 figures a day for a long period of time. They just haven't. They haven't had 7-figure days. Like,
Well, it's almost like she can experience that. Like when I started working out and training for bikini competitions, he was not lifting weights. He was like surfing and doing all this stuff. And I was like encouraging him to get into weightlifting, not because I'm like, oh, you look bad, but I know how strong and powerful I felt doing it.
That's it. That's 100%.
And then when he did it, I was like, there you are. Like, and now he understands.
When I make her work out hard, I'm like, are you sure you don't want to go harder? Because then she's shining after, and I get a better person.
Yeah.
So I'm like pushing her hard so I get the better version of her after. So I'll go and do that too. But she probably take offense to me saying I don't really expect much. But that's just how I roll. Like if you want to find the happiest people, it's the people who have the greatest work ethic and the lowest expectations. High expectations in a shitty work ethic makes a miserable life. And so relationship too. Like I have massive expectations for myself for her and not much expectations of her. Like for me, like I really just need to get laid every day.
We have a standard.
Yeah,
She's
she has to be really
beautiful.
hot. Yeah. Well, I mean, she's really hot. She's one of those people who's hot. So I need to have sex every day. Like that's what I need. And I mean, she wouldn't be with me if she
But
doesn't
she's
love
more
me.
than just pretty. Obviously, there's connection and.
I mean, like the whole thing is like people believe in all that shit a lot. Like me personally, like I don't really connect much. Like I don't care about that. Like I literally have a purpose of connecting with the world more than like sitting down and fucking. I see a lot of the entrepreneur content, and they're based around like literally like you have to spend all this energy connecting with your fucking wife, and what the fuck are you gonna do to understand her nervous system? I'm like, God damn. How the fuck am I gonna make 20 million a year and understand your fucking nervous system too? Fuck that. Like, let's connect on the easy shit, which is like, I will die to take care of you guys. I will do whatever the fuck it needs to be. Like, just like, this is a simple shit I need. You tell me what you need from me. And don't make it be something I have to guess at, because I don't know how to fucking do that shit.
Do you guys spend a lot of time together?
Not much. I mean, all day, but I'm just saying we don't.
All day?
I'm like, we're with
But
each
not
other.
much like real time, because it's like the baby and this and that.
You know
yeah.
what? Just being together in each other's spaces, it keeps you connected. Like we just went to Vegas last week, and we didn't. It's not like we're hanging out having these deep, connective conversations.
Yeah, just-
we're together.
Yeah,
you know?
there's people who you're in the room with and they fucking drain you because they need validation all the time. We're both not like that. Like, I mean, like there's people like if they were in your house, you'd be like, get this person the fuck out of here. I don't know why they're draining the fuck out of me just being here. I feel like they need me to go address them or something. And it's like, if you can be in a house with someone and like not feel that way, that's like comfortable to me. Like I'm comfortable with her in my life. I don't need anyone. Like I've been alone for long periods of time, but like I need a girl on her level of hotness. Like I just need that. And it's like, people are like, they want me to say it's something deeper. It's like, well, she doesn't possess anything that irritates me. I'm more deductive of a thinker. I'm not like, look at all these pluses you have.
Well,
I'm like, you don't have any negatives. You know,
She's
like,
hot, but you've probably been with other hot girls. So what brings you back together?
Yeah, but just because, I mean, the baby, I mean, it's just,
Can't be because she's
I'm
hot.
just super attracted to her. Like, I'm just really attracted
So there's
to
some
her.
chemistry.
For sure. Here,
Yeah.
listen, just being around you two. Here's what I know. I'm going to spend time with you off camera. We're not marketing. We're not promoting. We're not even on our cell phones. And this is the part I try to communicate to people too about, because people be like people know, not only do I support you, not only I run with you, not only I publicly endorse you, nothing. Like, I don't give a, I protect you in rooms when you're not around. And people say, why do you do that? Because I've seen both sides. I've seen the marketing side. I've seen the sales side. I've also seen another guy. And people who have spent time with you people don't rarely see this online.
They're not looking for it.
But this piece that I've got to experience with you, and now getting to experience you, Angie, in my home, for sure, bro. You can tell me all day long there's not anything in connection. It's impossible. You two have a vibrational connection with each other. She sees, and that's why she's.
My whole thing
Yeah.
is I don't really connect with people. I connect with God, and He tells me what to do.
Yeah.
I'm told to serve and take care of these
I know,
girls.
but the way
it's
you-
not like it's not like I have a choice. I've
Yeah.
tried not to, and
Yeah.
I can't get
I get
away
it.
from the
I get
call
it.
inside me that's like you owe
You know what's
your
fun
life.
too? You
Yeah.
can't get away from the one woman, the queen, who's been called into the kingdom either.
Yeah, like there's a reason why.
Yeah,
So
bro,
it's
I
not
know.
chemistry
You can't,
though, right?
But I don't
It's God's
think-
calling.
I really
That's
don't.
probably how you're like, I have a hot girl that God called me to be with. That's probably.
I don't think
higher
you
than
should.
chemistry.
I don't think you should ever really report to your girl, report to your family, report to your clients. I think you should listen to your conscience and what it tells you to do, and never ask a question. I think you should be like, fuck, like.
Well, if you ignore it,
I
it just
agree.
keeps coming back.
Yeah,
Probably like you guys broke up and you're like, why am I feeling this like draw? Like,
Because
why?
if I really went by how I feel, like if I went like connection or not, I'd be like, fuck that. Did you know the fuck she was talking to me in the car over some bullshit? Fuck this.
But
you know?
isn't
But
it?
God would be like, no. There's a bigger reason why you guys
Yes.
are together.
Yeah,
Like,
bro, that's the connection piece.
Yeah.
Though. That's a piece. That's a piece that keeps power couples who are called to do God's work,
Yeah.
souls
That's-
together.
that's
You're
what
supposed
I
to do
believe.
something together.
And
Yeah.
that currency
Yeah.
is what
Trust
keeps
me,
us
every
together.
year I'm like, damn it, we're still hitting it together. Like,
We've
I just
had-
know he's my person. Like every year I'm like, I guess we'll be married again. It's not to say that I don't love him, but it's just like you feel like a calling almost together. And when you feel that for us, it's like, I'm like, we got work to do together. You
Yeah.
know?
my whole thing is she's probably the only person who I'm proud to be around. Like I always tell her, I'm like, I feel lucky to be with you. I'm proud of you. Like I show her off all the time. I'm like, she fucking winning, you know? And it's not like, these are the attributes I care about. But I wouldn't be with someone who was a shitty person and just had these attributes. So when people do that, they're so fucking stupid. It's like, do you think someone of my caliber would just choose someone just for looks who's a horrible person?
Right.
Like, just understand that we got the good person side already taken care of, dumb fucks, you know? And then just realize that I'm 100% attracted to this person. There's no, it wouldn't ever get better to me, you know? And so that's what I would want. And so that's why I strive to be the best in every way that I can be. In all reality, I think when we take photos, I look better most of the time. I mean, and I think I literally like,
But
I
you
really
look better
think-
than her?
But in person, she looks better. But for some reason, I look so good in photos and shit. It's just, I try for that though.
You know your angles? You know your angles?
No, I want like
Definitely nailing the
yeah,
angles.
I want her to be fucking as proud of me as I am of her. But she needs to fucking work on her motherfucking IG angles. She'll be filming like this and shit. I'm like, that's not an angle for you. It doesn't work good.
She's not your level of being an influencer yet. She's new.
yeah, but
Influencer
she
space.
fucking is so.
That's the other reason
I'll
why
even
sometimes
try
I
to
stalk
film her though. I'll
content.
be like, what the fuck is happening? I'll be looking at her. I'm like, she looks so fucking good. Then I'll pull the camera out. I'll have me looking from the angle. I'm like, how the fuck are you fucking this picture up? I'm looking at it and
Can you give him lessons?
it's crazy. Like I just
don't care.
That's like him with the
I
opposite.
literally don't
and I'm
care.
like,
I'm
why
like,
is your
every
phone all
fucking
the way
angle.
down here? I don't want to see up your nose. Like, what?
no,
that's
she'll
me.
do the wrong angle
me.
with her calls to action. I'm like, can I film it? Set your camera up. You look very good straight on.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? Like the baby was right there. I'm like, oh God.
You know what? Sometimes though, like the authentic ones where you're holding your kids and they're throwing shit, like those convert better.
I tell her to do those ones. I'm like, you do the call to action with the baby in your arms, they'll understand.
Yeah.
Like, but the main thing is like, I try very hard to be, if I pull up somewhere, I beat everybody. I don't give a fuck who they think they are. Like, I'm going to take more attention than every single person at Ball Harbor, at Design District, anywhere we go. It's going to have to be one of the highest level celebrities to beat me if we pull up. And like, I want her to be on that level. I know what that is. I know how monetizable that is. I know how much, I just know how much that even commands someone's,
Well, it's a power couple thing.
and it brings you a high level of confidence.
Yeah.
She doesn't see how hot she is, and it's from like her not showcasing herself correctly. Like by not wanting to buy clothes, by not fucking, that's when people say, oh, you're materialistic. I know she's worth it. Like, what do you mean? I'm telling these girls they're worth it. Like Loon's closet is probably more expensive than most these busted chicks around here. Like she only wears Fendi and Balmain and everything dope. You know, that's what I want her to do. She only flew private like her whole fucking life. Like I just want them to know they're worth it. I have a picture of her in every color Rolls Royce interior, the baby. And I wish I could post it and be like, this is how you grew up. Like we wanted more for you. Like the men you're around should never be less than me. Like I would tell her, go date someone better than me.
It creates a standard. When Garrett and I were like, this was like years ago. But
Your
he was
kids won't look for some loser.
Well, I was telling him it's a standard because he was raised with like nothing, and I was raised with a little bit more abundance. And he'd always be like, "You're on my ass about like wanting to produce more and produce more." I'm like, you know what though? Like that's kind of the standard, and I'm like, I'm never gonna apologize for how I was raised. You know?
I told these people on a fucking video yesterday, I said, if she said I'd be okay with living with you in a cardboard box, I'd say, what the fuck are you letting me live like that for? Like, women are letting their men be losers.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
you women out there, it's your fault your dude's fat. It's your fault he's broke.
But what do you say to the guy? Because like,
Quit fucking him.
I'll push him to grow, but then sometimes I'm the bitch, right? So I'm like, but you want someone to push you, but then not push you too much because then I'm the bitch.
I don't give a fuck how much someone pushes me. They better tell me fucking to handle more, you know? I'll do it.
What if Angie was pushing you to listen more?
I can't do that. I'm not going to tell her to make 20 million, am I? Hey, go make 20 million next year. She'd be like, you're a fucking lunatic.
I got it here. And so here's what it is.
Don't tell me to fucking listen. I won't tell her to make it 20 million.
For every 100,000, Wes has to do breath work with you.
I won't do that shit either.
He does breath
So
work
you
with
hit the
me every
target,
night.
and then he'll be doing breath work every night.
My
while
breath
the
work is
nanny-
me doing all the work at 250 pounds trying to bust a nut in under 3 hours. But anyway, the whole thing is like, I don't agree with these guys doing breath work and shit. I don't like any of that shit.
Do you do any of the hacks? Do you like the cold plunging and the
Fuck
red light?
no.
And,
Dude, I don't need any of that. I'm hard as a motherfucker.
but you're like super healthy.
But this is for guys who are like weak and like need to take a cold
you
shower.
don't do any
to
of the
feel tough.
biohack stuff?
Dude, I'm a monster mentally. Like, I know I outrank everybody. So I don't need to like take a cold shower
But
to say I'm tough in the
You eat
morning.
healthy and you work out.
I don't believe in. I believe everything comes down to how you spoke to yourself. The precursor is the shower, like the cold shower, and then you spoke to yourself like, "Yeah, I did it again. I stayed in for 45 seconds." Like, if we're talking about the way someone speaks to them, no one outranks me. Like, so I don't. Everyone thinks it's the shower. Everyone thinks it's no fap because they didn't masturbate for 30 days or something, like it did some scientific thing. No, it was you desired to masturbate and or have sex and you chose not to. So the power was the choice. The power was the choice of getting under the cold shower.
Right.
Like, I choose to speak to my,
commitment.
I can have some like crazy shit going on in my life and choose to still tell myself, this is a part of my story. Like, I need this to happen. So I never victimize. Like, no matter what's going on, I'm like, I need this to take place. This is who I am, you know? I'm always writing a big ass story in a movie people would want to watch. Other people are like victimizing in their self-talk, you know? Self-talk is everything. But that's why they're like, how long could you stay in that cold plunge? I'm like, dude, what, bro? Like, just fine, bro, whatever. I don't do any of that shit.
I did one time and I was like, that's for the crazy people. What?
Would
I've
it
only
work?
done it
Would
like
it,
four
would it
times.
work? Would it make you better? Yes. Is it really
I feel like
worth
it made me worse.
But is it really worth that much of my time when I could be selling? Like, I sell. Like, I would tell someone, you want to change your life? Okay, spend the 3 hours in the morning bettering yourself and the rest of the day selling something for 6 to 8 hours. Like, I don't give a fuck what you're selling. Get on the platform and fucking ads, content, whatever it is, sell for 6 hours. Like, I want you to build yourself in the morning, then whatever you couldn't live without, that product or service, sell that for 6 to 8 hours, and that's your day. And then the rest of the time spend with the fucking family or gaps that you have.
What's the amount that Angie would have to make for you to go to a silent meditation retreat?
I would do it for her if she just told me that I get X amount of sex or something. It wouldn't be
Easy.
money.
Easy.
I would do it for sex. Like,
Easy
yeah.
done. Yeah, and
But
you
she's
could-
been good at that lately. She's actually been good at it. And before it kind of felt like a chore. Like, she didn't want to do it because she was like not present. Like, oh, the baby, this, that, I'm tired.
get it.
I'm like, fuck this, you know?
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
telling you,
I
you
But now
guys.
she's 2, so you're kind of getting out of the window a little bit. Like that first 2 years for a mom, it's
I was
rough.
fucking her
Yeah.
while she was pregnant. Like, that shit was crazy.
It's funner when you're pregnant. When you have that baby, now you're
Yeah, but
literally
no
like
guy
a-
wants to be like, come on. Like, any guy that's a special guy right there. He might have
Really?
special needs at a certain point.
He
That motherfucker might be specially
He
handicapped.
thought it was hot when I was pregnant, so I don't know.
Well, no, but we're the type of guys who think our girl's hot.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I
my-
just think every form of you is hot.
yeah,
So
like
pregnant-
I think she is the hottest. Like, I tell her all fucking day, and like maybe she would follow suit and give me a half a compliment.
What? So
And people make fun of me. They're like,
it's-
you're all needy. You need your girl to compliment you and shit. I'm like, faggot, you're on my fucking shit right now trying to get compliments through. You're trying to get validation through me saying something back to you online, kiddo.
everybody needs validation.
Like,
Okay, so final question for you two. This is a good question because Wes is bringing up a point I brought up. I've heard every guy I know that produces a high level that's aggressive and intense.
What? All they want to
Why
say.
why is it so difficult for you two as powerful, beautiful women
Oh, no.
to give the verbal back to, man, you're hot, you're attractive, you look good. It comes once in a while from you to me, but it's like 10 times more from me to you all day than it ever is the other direction. I get the, oh, what's wrong with your eyebrow? Oh, what's
We
going
do
on
that
right
too,
here?
but-
What you get to answer this and then Angie. What? Because this is like a common thing. This is like for couples. This happens all the time
I would
where it's like
say-
almost one-sided.
I would say sometimes you don't hear the words of validation because you're too sucked into whatever you're doing. And so for me, I'm like, what does a girl got to do? Like, I got to run by and like literally like flash you and dance and be like, hello. And then I
Yes.
got your attention. So there's little things that I do that I'm like, good morning, how are you? And I don't think he notices it because he's not being present. So my question back for you is, how many times are you missing me giving you validation because you're not present?
I wouldn't know that because I'm missing them.
Exactly. So there was one.
I'm not missing hers. She calls me Wes. Okay, she doesn't even call me baby or babe or anything like that. She calls me by my motherfucking name.
Wes.
What do you
Yeah.
want her to call you?
You know what?
I want her to at least say babe or something normal. Like,
What do you want? What would you call them? Would know if you had a name.
Babe.
see,
babe?
imagine she can't even give like words of like what is that? Words of endearment or something, whatever. She can't even say that shit.
No, that's-
Imagine giving a full compliment. That would be like pulling teeth and shit.
Do guys want to be complimented on like what do they want to be complimented on? Like like taking care of the family, like their nice beard line. Like,
The shit that they do.
Angie, what do you think?
I just think that it comes naturally. But sometimes if I see somebody like, for me, it's like energy. If his energy is really big, sometimes I'm like, I'm going to let him process because that's how I process. But that's a need that he needs filled. So I have to, you know.
I mean,
Yeah.
it'd
If
be
somebody
anything
like
that they're
this-
doing good with, you know,
Yeah.
like oh, that looks good on you, like what you're wearing, or fucking you look bigger right now, or something like. I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be what they work on, you know.
Yeah.
Like I always tell her that what she's doing is good, you know. I'm like, you look fucking sexy. Like, Jesus, what you're wearing right now is crazy.
It's more natural for men to give out compliments, especially if they're married to somebody they're attracted to. But I do believe that
Women
like,
were the only ones, always the ones getting the compliments. their
no,
whole
I
life.
believe that there's a level where men are so into work, which we're attracted to that. We love that they're willing to go out and work. But with that comes of like, hey, you're not gonna be able to receive these compliments if you're like texting. There's been literally times where I'm like, babe, your shoulders look really good today. And he's like,
I would hear them if they came. I still get called Wes.
Okay, so we have two fundamentals we've uncovered. One, from here forth, King West shall be called
Babe.
babe.
That's fine.
And number two,
Anything.
from here forth in the kingdom Watson, there will be a new participant on the team
Called a nanny.
called the full-time nanny.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you two are, you know, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna do these two things.
Just
we're gonna
do
have
those
like
two things
We're gonna
and-
have like this
Yeah,
the
good.
60, 90-day challenge.
My whole thing is this too. Just don't say you're leaving anymore. Like I don't do that shit. Like I like don't want to ever say get out of here, leave, or anything like that. I want the chick who goes, I don't give a fuck. No matter what, I'm gonna roll with you. Like I ain't going nowhere. Fuck that. You can't get me to leave. You know.
So this is the only thing. This is when I get upset. I'm telling you earlier, I had to clear up that belief from the other day. I was holding resentment from that the Q&A when you were like, I'll have someone else or whatever.
you should just
so
know
I'm
that a
like,
guy like
okay,
me
you
could
want
get
someone
someone
else?
else.
I'm gone. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you'll have any access to me. You can have whatever you want when I'm gone.
But I'm just saying. I know you could get someone else. So I mean, it
Yeah,
just
but
is what it is.
don't threaten that if you don't want me to leave. That's why
Well,
I
if
held
it-
on to that. I had to
I
clear
said
that
it for
myself.
you. I was like,
Yeah.
if I can't take care of you, I would want you to be with someone who could.
Yeah, I think
so. In all reality, like women, like we want sex from you, and you want financial support from us. Let's just be honest.
well, those two things, and also too, both the man and the woman want to feel safe in their relationship. Garrett and I've been married for 21 years, and we have said stupid shit to each other. And we finally got to this place in the last, like, I don't know, year where we get in an explosive fight, and I just say, "You're still my." We wake up the next morning, I'm like, "You're still my person," because I don't. But I had to work on that. I'd be like, "I'm fucking out," you know.
That's the only thing you need to say is reaffirm to
Yeah,
them.
and
that
he
they're-
does it to
you
me
need
too.
reassurance.
Yeah.
We
my
had
my
to
whole
after
thing
big
is like
fights.
I've shown it. When we were broken up, I'm like, I'll never, just tell me what you need. I don't, even if we broke up, I'd still take care of him.
Yeah.
I'm just not fucking all emotional and gay like that to where I'm going to fucking trip on everything. I'm just not like that. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I just know I have to, and I'll find a way to do it.
Right.
That should be your guys' response to what you need to do. I don't give a fuck. I just know I got to do it for you.
Yeah.
You know? But I mean, my whole thing is I've never been conditional. She don't have to meet no conditions for me to be there. Like, it's just, there's nothing that has to change. Like, she just has to let me be there.
Yeah. I think you just keep showing up, like she'll realize, like you keep showing up.
That's why I won it over, because I just kept doing it.
Yeah.
When getting nothing.
Right.
And like, because I was like, I don't need shit. Like,
Yeah.
that's the biggest fear of a woman, though. A guy who really really doesn't need shit. Like, like most women, she's strong for dating someone like me. You're strong for being with someone like him. Like, most women would not date a man who like really could do without him, you know? Like, and I don't want to ever do without her. I've told her that every time, but
Right.
I've had to, and I can, you know?
Right.
And it's like, I'm sure she can too, but I mean, the whole thing is women fear the fuck out of that. They want you to like really need them, like these dudes who are so jealous. They're like, would you like if people followed your girl? I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you do. You
What's
can
an
mess your
insecurity
own.
in the guy?
Yeah,
I actually don't like that. I like how secure you are.
yeah.
That's attractive to me. I like the security.
I literally
Yeah.
could give a fuck, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna take care of you anyways. It's deeper than that.
Right.
Like, I owe you.
Right.
Like, any woman who's ever like been a positive force in a man's life, he should owe her for life. Like, just straight up.
Yeah.
And if she's been a negative one, fuck no, he should know her
Yeah.
shit.
Okay, so we have the babe, we have the nanny. Now we're gonna flip it. What's he wants babe? What's one thing you want from Wes?
I just don't want to be called Wes. It seems
Yeah,
weird.
that's what babe,
That's just
Poppy.
weird. Like,
Okay, babe.
dude,
There you
even
go.
when she does
There you
this,
go. There
she
you go.
says thank you if I buy like a smoothie.
I'm
like,
not changing that.
I'm like, stop
Yeah, what's
saying
wrong with
thank
that?
you if I bought a goddamn smoothie.
What if she said
I'm
thanks,
not changing.
babe?
I'm
supposed
not
to-
changing that.
I know you don't
especially- I'm
have to
raising
change it,
babies
but I
and-
feel weird
Yeah.
if I'm buying my wife and my stepdaughter
That's
a
words of
smoothie.
validation. Thanks, babe.
My wife says the same thing.
But I feel weird, to
I-
the people around, like I'm like I'm a stranger or
If
something.
he buys me a Chanel, I'm like, thanks, babe.
Yeah, buying something real, but not like a smoothie.
No, he opens my door every time I get in the car, and I tell him thank you every time. I think it's
Good.
cute.
Yeah.
what's
I
the
like
what's the
it.
thing? What's
She
the
don't
thing
have
you
to
want?
change that. I just think it's
Yeah.
weird.
What's the thing that you want?
like it.
He wants babe. What do you want?
I know this is weird. I just need a little bit of time to myself so I can be in present time and do all of those things. I just need a little bit. That's it.
The
That's
time
the
she
nanny
needs
thing.
by herself, she needs to find that time. If I needed time, I need to find it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
that's why
can't
we're
help
getting
her
the
find it.
nanny.
Yeah, it's happening. This
And
nanny
I
ain't.
did
But
my
it's like
part, which
with-
is when the nanny shows up, I go like this. Oh, Griselda Blanco, here. That'd be the wrong name.
Okay, so this is you're solving this.
Yeah.
This thing is going to actually explode your relationship. We watched what it did for Danielle and I, and having people who are a smooth fit in your world and
Right.
also can be in
Yeah.
your world without any
Well,
friction.
It's weird because we'll go on vacations and we almost never fight. And then at home, like once a week, we have some kind of fight. And I was like,
Always
it's-
over the
it's-
kids.
It's with building life together and kids. It's you can't even like take it personal. It's just the stress of life. Somebody says something, another person says something, and it triggers something, and you're like, why? So
This-
it'll help just alleviate that
Right.
pressure.
That's my whole thing. I'm like, I don't even care if we fight. I expect shit to not go perfect. How quick can we have sex again? Like, this is what I'm worried about.
On that note.
I can't focus.
Then the only
Can
thing
you
you
not
need-
focus?
Of course not.
If your chick's hot and you're walking around all day like, God damn.
No,
she's
I can
killing
always
it."
sense it. I'm like,
and you're
oh, it's
loyal.
time.
And you're loyal, so you're waiting for that one person. So if your guy isn't this way, he's probably cheating on you. Okay. If he's not really tripping on having sex with you, he's watching a lot of porn, or he's cheating on you, dumb bitches. Okay, straight up. But the whole thing is like, if I'm chasing around and I'm saying I need to do this, like, understand it's because I'm waiting for just you, and that's good. And second off, like, I can't focus. I'm sitting here just imagining these scenarios and I'm trying to get back to work, but I'm like consumed with these scenarios.
There's been times where I'm like, oh gosh, like
Women don't do
he's
that.
in that space.
Women don't do
You
that.
could
huh?
feel it.
I
See,
can feel it. So I'm like, babe, but he'll be so busy, like he'll push me off, and I'm like, you're doing this to yourself.
Oh no, I won't do that. I'll put everything
Yeah,
down.
no, he does. He falls asleep at like 8 p.m. I'm like, you did that to yourself.
No, but I think that what you said you had your sacred time in the morning. I think
Yeah.
I need that for myself so I can have those moments.
Yeah.
Because
It's
if
a
I
game
just go
changer. Like,
all day long.
yeah, my nanny shows up at 7, and I don't even go to the gym till 9. But I don't care. I want to like sit and look at my emails, do my Instagram posts, just have that time for me to like clear my mind. Then I go work out. Then I come back and shower, and then I'm like, oh, just that morning time.
What about friends? Like, what about why do women when they get in a relationship refuse to have friends? When
No,
it's so
it's different
valuable?
when you're with your kids. Like it's. I do have friends. Like, I mean, we just moved here, but it's like we go to like lunch dates and this and that. Or we go to the gym together or something
You
like
have
that.
friends?
But I've got Alyssa. She's my only friend pretty much here. We just moved here, but it's.
But
Is
no,
that-
but
is
she,
that-
no matter where we lived, she just didn't really do stuff with other women.
I don't need big friend groups. In fact, I enjoy going out. Like our friends Carter and Alyssa. You want to know what I told them? I said, you know, I like you guys because I don't have to be on. You don't want anything from me. You don't need anything. It's not a fake bullshit conversation. Because I've had friends in the past where I'm like, I don't want to talk drama. So I only want to hang out.
Oh,
with
those people
that
that drain you, like I was talking about.
Yeah, so
they're
it's like
stupid.
I'm very selective of my friends because I've had groups of friends like that. We're like, let's go to dinner, and I'm like, I don't want to go to dinner with you. That just sucked energy from me. That didn't
Right.
do
Well,
anything. for
that's
me.
the thing. Anything fake is repelled from like authentic. If you're authentic, then you repel fake real quick. So that's
Yeah.
fine. That should happen. But
Yeah.
I still have like 5 guys in my team that I work out with every day that nobody drains anyone. Everyone
Yeah.
knows their order of operation. It gives me that time to be with my dudes and then I come back and I'm like, I want to see her. She doesn't have that time. She got the baby. She by herself. She doesn't. If she went and hung out with a friend, I know she would come back. How I come back. People just don't know themselves very well. Like I know what everyone needs because I've situated my life and everything so perfectly that I know you need to make money. I know you need to go do that with some friends. I know you need all these things, and
Yeah.
I know you need to lift weights. I know you need this.
I think guys need their bros, like they need their buddies, and I don't think women are the same way, honestly. Like,
I don't.
it's like
I-
if we hung out and we were chilling in each other's like space, I'm like, oh, you're great. Like that's how I feel about like Alyssa. I'm like, you're fun to be with because like we don't need anything and it's chill. But I don't feel like I need to go to the gym with my 5 ladies and get my girl.
That would be
time.
weird.
Yeah, no.
I think that would be weird.
Yeah.
But I just think they need like 2 days a week where they actually go do something with some girls and like go speak to girls about the shit that they try to tell us. Like, don't tell me all that shit.
See,
I'm
but
not
I
your
don't like
girlfriend.
relationships like that. I'm like, I don't want to
Right.
dump my baggage on you about what's bugging me about Garrett. So like for me,
Yeah.
I just internalize it and blow up.
Well, I don't internalize it. I do theta healings on myself, and that's what I like to do in my free time.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't necessarily
Yeah,
have
but
friends,
that's
but I
her-
have people who do the theta healing.
Yeah, that's
I
her
love to
having
do-
her
I do
girl
that all
time.
day
The
long.
girls she mentors is like her girl time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when she comes back
Yeah.
from that, she feels good.
Yeah.
I'd see that's it for me because I coach like thousands of hairstylists. When I go put on a class, like I come back tired but almost energized. I'm like,
100%.
It's
Yeah.
like I have my time, I'm connecting, I'm teaching. So for me, like I enjoy that's like more fulfilling social time for me.
Yeah.
It's because I almost feel like I'm giving back. To
Right.
you.
So 100% what I mean. You're like, but even when we would go around friends or something, it would turn into that. You know.
Yeah.
Everyone would kind of help each other.
Yeah.
Well, you
Well,
guys have been amazing.
Thank
It's fun
you.
to
Thank
get
you
to
for
know you
having us.
more, and you guys do have a good.
You
chemistry
for
together,
sure
and-
connected.
Yeah, well, I'm dude, the whole thing
Connected.
is I'm not attracted to anyone else, but
You're
I don't.
connected.
My whole thing is
Such a hard ass Wes.
I just don't believe in the words people use are just like they fuck them up. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like there doesn't need to be chemistry.
Yeah.
Why would there need to be something for you to say like, I feel that I have to do this? You know,
You went even deeper. You're like, God says I'm with her. I'm like, wow, he took
Yeah.
it. Like,
But that's what I feel. I
Connected.
don't. I'm not like someone who gets a choice.
Yeah.
Like I don't give myself a choice to be a man. I don't give myself a choice in a lot of shit. I just know it's like what I'm supposed to be and do.
Well, just know this, Angie. Wes is still figuring out if he's connected to you, but God has connected to you, which means Wes is connected to you. That's easy. It's already done.
Her whole thing is she reports to God before everyone else, anyways. Too.
I do
I know.
always.
My whole thing is a lot of the God teachers I can't.
Oh,
listen
bro,
to.
I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
They're
All the
so
Christian
pathetic.
teachers, the God teachers, the spiritual, the plant medicine people. There's a whole lineup, and 95% of them are full of
That's a
shit and
different
hide behind
podcast.
bullshit.
That's a whole different
There's
show.
a whole world of bullshit. All right, you want to close it down?
Sure. All right. You guys are amazing to have in our home. I look forward to connecting with you more. Bring your kids over. We'll do a pool day sometime. It was fun. But
Beautiful.
if
Thank
you guys
you.
are listening to this show, though, like, you guys are amazing. Wes, he says funny shit, but he's got a good heart. I can feel it. And he's got a beautiful girl with him. So you guys definitely check. What are both of you guys' social medias? I'm sure they all know, but
We'll
go ahead
put
and
them on
tell
the show. They'll know.
My Instagram is mbs_Angie.
Perfect.
Real Wes Watson
Wes
fit.
Watson. Perfect. Well, follow them on social media, you guys. If you're listening to this show and you thought it was funny as shit, we understand. But also, if you got some value out of it, if you're kind of going through some of the same stuff, share it with your friends. That's why we do this podcast. We don't do it because we have a ton of time. We want to add value to you guys. So thank you so much for tuning in to the Date Your Wife podcast, and we'll see you every single week with some new spicy episodes.
And as always, a backup infrastructure and operating system of tens of thousands of men here at Wake Up Warrior, you may or may not be aware of it, is a system that helps men put themselves back in check. A lot of you listening to this show right now, this gives you permission to have conversations in your home that you wouldn't otherwise. But as Wes has clearly put out on this show, if your man is weak and struggling, those conversations are going to suck ass anyways. If we can help you, we've got free tools. Check them out at wakeupwarrior.com. And my friends, that brings us close to another episode of the Date Your Wife podcast.